Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 2nd of February 2024. Let's start with our session. Which three countries recently announced their withdrawal from the economic community of the West African state? So these three countries are Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. They have announced their withdrawal from the economic community of West African state. And what is the reason behind it? So these three countries accused this body of imposing inhuman and irresponsible sanctions against them after their militaries seized power in the recent coup. And this sanction, which limit the border movements and trade, have hurt the country's economies very badly. So now the withdrawal from these three countries could weaken the regional bloc and escalate the tensions, definitely, right? So these three countries are Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger that have withdrawn from the economic community of Western African states. Okay. Now here our keyword would be country, and in the next slide we will see some of the important international current affairs. First is, recently which country has confirmed the discovery of its first deposits of coltan, which is a valuable mineral? So this country is Kenya. Recently Kenya has confirmed the discovery of its first coltan deposit, which is a valuable mineral that is crucial for all type of electronic devices, and coltan is utilized in diverse industries. Also tantalum, which is actually a derivative of coltan, is vital for the capacitors in smartphone, tablet, computers and electric car batteries. So it is a significant development in the country's mineral resources, right? So Kenya has confirmed the discovery of its first deposit of coltan, which is a valuable mineral. In response to a volcanic eruption, India has dispatched emergency relief worth $1 million to which particular country? So India has dispatched $1 million in emergency relief to the country Papua New Guinea in response to a volcanic eruption, and this relief includes 11 tons of disaster relief material and 6 tons of medical aid, which were airlifted by the Australian Air Force. And the volcanic eruption of Mount Ulawun forced the evacuation of more than 26,000 people here, and it created urgent humanitarian help. Okay, so we have recently dispatched emergency relief worth $1 million to the country Papua New Guinea in response to a volcanic eruption. Which Middle Eastern country recently launched the Mahada, Kehan 2 and Hatef 1 satellites as seen in the news? These all satellites belong to the country Iran. Which country is the second largest producer of Tassar silk recently seen in the news? So India is the second largest producer of this variety of silk, and which country is at the first position? This is the country China. Recently India surpassed which country to become the fourth largest equity market globally? So India has surpassed Hong Kong country to become the fourth largest equity market, and which countries are at the top 3 positions? These are US, China and Japan. Okay. Recently the Union Cabinet has approved the Memorandum of Understanding with which country for cooperation in the IT sector? So Union Cabinet has approved this MOU with the country Oman for cooperation in the IT sector. Okay. So these are some of the important international current affairs. INS Sumitra, recently seen in the news, is what kind of vessel? So it is a Saryu class petrol vessel, and recently it rescued the hijacked fishermen of the Somalia's eastern coast. It was commissioned in the year 2014, and it's the last vessel of the Saryu class petrol vessel. Okay, and it is constructed by the Goa Shipyards Limited, based in Chennai under the Eastern Naval Command. The primary roles of this Indian Navy ship is anti-piracy, patrol, fleet support, maritime security, etc. And the recent successful rescue underscores its vital contribution to the regional security, right? So INS Sumitra is a kind of petrol vessel. Now in the next slide we will see some of the important Indian Navy related current affairs. Which naval ship was recently decommissioned after 38 years of service to the Indian Navy? So this is INS Nirupak. Okay, it was a service ship that was commissioned in the year 1985, and recently it has been decommissioned after providing 38 years of service. Okay. Don't forget that this is the ship which actively participated in humanitarian operations, including the 2004 tsunami relief. Who has been appointed as the Director General of Naval Operations in the Indian Navy? This is Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod. Recently, which 3 Indian Navy ships were decommissioned after 40 years of service? So recently 3 ships are there which have been decommissioned after providing 40 years of service. The first one is INS Cheetah, second is INS Guldar, and the third one is INS Kumbhir. Okay. Recently, which oceanographic research vessel of the Indian Navy has embarked on the Sagar Maitri mission 4 to the Oman? The name of this ship is INS Sagar Dhwani. Okay. And the last question is, who has been recently appointed as the new Chief of Materiel of the Indian Navy? This is Vice Admiral Kiran Deshmukh. Okay. He has been appointed as the new Chief of Materiel of Indian Navy. Recently, where was the foundation stone of the Northeast India's first naturopathy hospital laid? So, Union Minister of Ayush and the Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Mr. Sarbanand Sonowal, and the Chief Minister of Assam, Hemant Biswa Sarma, recently laid the foundation stone for the Central Research Institute of Yoga and Naturopathy and a 100-bed Yoga and Naturopathy hospital in Dibrugarh in the state of Assam. So with an investment of 100 crore rupees, this 15-acre institution aims to synergize traditional yoga and naturopathy with modern technology, setting the benchmarks in education and preventive healthcare and research. So this institute will focus on evidence-based research, international collaboration and incubation for the startups in the yoga and the wellness sector. Okay. So the foundation stone of Northeast India's first naturopathy hospital has been laid in the state of Assam. Now let's see some of the important current affairs regarding first in news. Recently, which player made history by hitting the fastest triple century in the first class cricket? This is Tanmay Agarwal. Yesterday we have talked about this question. Laughing gull, a migratory bird from North America, has been sighted for the first time in which Indian state? First time it has been spotted in the state of Kerala. Recently, which Indian company launched India's first artificial intelligence unicorn named as Krutrim? This is Ola. Who has become the first woman to hold the rank of Subedar in the Indian Army? So answer would be Preeti Rajak. She is the very first woman to hold the rank of Subedar in the Indian Army. And she has been promoted from the rank of Havaldar. What is the name of the first large language model recently introduced by CoreOver.ai in India? The name of this first LLM is Bharat GPT, and recently it has been unveiled by CoreOver.ai in India. Next is, recently who has been appointed as the new Chief Secretary of Puducherry? Here your answer would be Mr. Sharad Chauhan. And Union Home Ministry announced the appointment of Dr. Sharad Chauhan as the new Chief Secretary of Puducherry. Also, he is a member of Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Mizoram and Union Territory, Cadre, and previously he served in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, simply you have to remember that who's the new Chief Secretary of Puducherry. Your answer would be Sharad Chauhan. Here our keyword is appointment, and in the next slide we will see some of the important and the recent appointments. Who has been appointed as the Director General of Sashastra Seema Bal? So the new DG of Sashastra Seema Bal is Mr. Daljit Singh Chaudhary. Okay. Who has been appointed as the Chief Staff Officer of Eastern Naval Command? This is Rear Admiral Shantanu Jha. Okay. Who has been appointed as the first female neutral umpire by the ICC for a bilateral series? Answer is Sue Redfern. Who has been recently appointed as the Chief Executive Officer of the Indian Olympic Association? Your answer is Raghuram Iyer. Okay, he is the new CEO of the Indian Olympic Association. Who has been appointed as India's ambassador to the World Trade Organization in Geneva? So India's ambassador to the World Trade Organization in Geneva is Senthil Pandian C. Fine. Next is, who is the author of the recently launched book Ek Samandar Mere Andar? So recently our National Security Advisor Mr. Ajit Doval and the Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan introduced the book Ek Samandar Mere Andar, and it has been authored by Sanjeev Joshi. Okay, who's Sanjeev Joshi? He is basically the deputy CEO of BrahMos Aerospace, and this book consists of 75 poems, and it was unveiled at the India International Center. Okay, so Sanjeev Joshi has written the book named as Ek Samandar Mere Andar. In the next slide, we will see some of the important books and authors. First is, who is the author of the recently launched book Assam's Brave Heart, Lachit Barphukan? This book has been authored by Mr. Arup Kumar Datta. Who is the author of Tamil novel Nanthan Aurangzeb, means Conversations with Aurangzeb? The writer of this book is Charu Nivedita. Fine. Who is the author of the recently launched book Gandhi Alive in 3 Campaigns? The author of this book is Andre Akbar, and in this book he has described the 3 important moments of Gandhi's life, which are these: non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and the Quit India movement. Who is the author of the recently released book titled as Why Bharat Matters? It has been authored by our Union Minister S. Jaishankar. Paul Lynch, who received the 2023 Booker Prize, is from which country? So the 2023 Booker Prize has been given to Paul Lynch, and he is an Irish writer, means he belonged to the country Ireland. What is the purpose of the Seabot, which is an autonomous underwater vehicle launched by the CSIR NIO in Goa? So the Goa-based CSIR National Institute of Oceanography has launched the Seabot, which is an autonomous underwater vehicle for monitoring the coral reefs. And this vehicle is also known as the Coral Reef Monitoring and Surveillance Robot. Basically, it is a kind of robot with advanced features for increased surveillance over the coral reef. Also, it can travel to a depth of 200 meters underwater. Okay, so the purpose of Seabot is monitoring coral reefs. Now, let's see some of the important state-related current affairs. Recently, which 2 states signed a memorandum of understanding on modified Parbati Kali Sindh Chambal ERCP link project? So, Union Ministry of Jal Shakti signed this MOU with Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh for this project, which has integrated into the National Perspective Plan, and it targets optimal water use in the Chambal Basin. Basic aim is to supply drinking and industrial water to total 13 districts, connecting the sub-basins within the Chambal Basin. Okay, so here correct answer would be Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Labha means Laghu Bana Jatya Dravya Kraya Yojana, recently seen in the news, is launched by which Indian state? So Odisha government has launched this Labh Yojana, which is 100% state-funded minimum support price scheme for the minor forest produce, and this initiative aims to benefit the state's large tribal population, consisting of 23% of the total population. So under the scheme, the state government will annually determine the MSP for MFP, and the primary collectors, mainly tribals, can sell the MFP at MSP through procurement centers which are managed by the Tribal Development Cooperative Corporation Limited of Odisha, and the government has allocated an initial 100 crore rupees with 2% commission for implementing agencies. Okay, so Labh Yojana is launched by Odisha state. Daroji Sloth Bear Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? Here answer is Karnataka. Actually, why this sanctuary came into news? Because Karnataka faces human sloth bear conflict, and it posed the concerns for communities and wildlife enthusiasts. Don't forget that it is classified as vulnerable by the IUCN. Okay, so this sanctuary lies in the state of Karnataka. Which state is home to the Kutia Kondh tribe, recently seen in the news and classified as a particularly vulnerable tribal group? Here your answer is Odisha state. Rusoma Orange Festival, recently seen in the news, is celebrated in which Indian state? This is the festival of Nagaland. Fine. Next is Mandeep Jangra, who was seen in the news, is associated with which sport? So he is an Indian boxer, and why he came into news? Because recently he won the National Boxing Association's Intercontinental Super Featherweight title by defeating Gerardo, who is from America in Washington. That's why he came into news. Simply you have to remember that Bandeep Jangra is associated with boxing. He is a boxer. Let's see some of the important sport-related current affairs. Deep Grace Ekka, who recently announced her retirement, is associated with which sport? Deep Grace Ekka has announced her retirement and she is a hockey player. Sukhbir Singh Gill, who passed away recently, was associated with which sport? He is also a hockey player and recently he passed away. Mopin, Rah Mukra and Wapong Sika, that were recently in the news, are traditional sports of which Indian state? These are the traditional sports of Meghalaya state. Federal Bank collaborated with which sports person for the brand promotion? Federal Bank has collaborated with HS Pranay for the brand promotion. Okay. Billie Jean King Cup is associated with which sport? It is associated with tennis. Next is the table themed as Bharat, Mother of Democracy, clinched the first place at the Republic Day 2024. It was associated with which ministry? So this table is associated with Ministry of Culture and it won the first prize at the 75th Republic Day Parade in 2024. Basically, it showcased the evolution of democracy from ancient India to the modern times. And Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts has announced this win. Ministry of Home Affairs table depicting vibrant villages won the second prize. Okay, so your answer is B option, Ministry of Culture. Now let's see some of the important Republic Day current affairs. Which two BSF personnel were awarded the President's Medal for Gallantry posthumously on the eve of the 75th Republic Day? Who are the two important personalities? First one is Sanwala Ram Vishnoi and the second one is Shishupal Singh. Okay, and they are associated with BSF. BSF works under Ministry of Home Affairs. How many Padma Awards were approved by the President for conferment on the eve of 75th Republic Day? Total 132 Padma Awards were approved by the President, and you have to tell me what is the segregation, means how many Padma Shri, how many Padma Bhushan and how many Padma Bhushan are there. Who is the chief guest of the Republic Day 2024 celebration? So this year our chief guest for Republic Day celebration was the France President Emmanuel Macron. Which actor has been awarded the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic, the highest Italian civilian award in December 2023? This is the highest Italian civilian honor and it has been presented to Kabir Bedi. Fine. Next is, what is the rank of India in the Corruption Perception Index 2023? So according to a Transparency International report, India ranked 93 out of 180 countries in the 2023 Corruption Perception Index, which is published annually by the Transparency International, which is a non-governmental organization. Okay, so CPI ranks the countries on a scale of 0 means highly corrupt to 100 very clean based on their perceived levels of public sector corruption. Fine. So what is the rank of India in this index? Your answer would be 93. That is option number A. Now in the next slide we will see some of the important ranks and indices. According to the Global Firepower 2024 annual report, what is the rank of India among the world's most powerful militaries? So among the world's most powerful militaries, India is ranked at 4th position. Which are the top 3? USA, Russia and China. Recently, which state was ranked as the best performer in the Indian Startup Ecosystem ranking for 2022? This is Tamil Nadu. Which state has consistently ranked first in recording the entries on the Interoperable Criminal Justice System platform? This is Uttar Pradesh. Which state is the top performer among the coastal states in the LEADS ranking, means logistic ease across different state ranking? This is again Tamil Nadu. And last is, which Indian city achieved the highest ranking in India in the Mercer's Quality of Living City Index 2023? This city is Hyderabad. Now last question is, recently which country has confirmed the discovery of its first deposits of coltan, which is a valuable mineral? We have talked about this question already. Here answer is Kenya. Okay. Now let's see some of the important and the recent news. What is the IUCN status of Indian grey wolf recently seen in the news? So they are actually least concerned species and its distribution spans from the Indian subcontinent to Israel. So the IUCN status of Indian grey wolf is least concern. Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee recently seen in the news is related to which one of the following reforms? Actually, they are associated with educational reforms, and Ministry of Education recently approved the reforms in higher education institutions accreditation system based on recommendations from the Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee. Okay. Next is Ratel hydroelectric project recently seen in the news is built on which river? Actually, government has announced the diversion of the Chenab river water through tunnels to accelerate the 850 megawatt Ratel hydroelectric project in Jammu and Kashmir. And this project is located in the Kishtwar district. Also, it is a runoff river hydroelectric power initiative on the Chenab river. It is developed by the Ratel Hydroelectric Power Corporation Limited as a joint venture between Jammu and Kashmir State Power Development Corporation and National Hydroelectric Power Corporation, and it includes a 133 meters tall concrete gravity dam, which is a kind of diversion dam, and an underground powerhouse. Okay, so it is built on the Chenab river. Where was the biomass based compressed biogas plant inaugurated in UP recently? Here answer is Budaun, and yesterday we have talked about this question in detailed manner. Dogri folk dance recently seen in the news is a famous folk dance form of which state or the union territory? Dogri folk dance is associated with Jammu. Fine. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Minu Satsana signing off.